यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंजा विहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा गोविंद राधा गोविंद राधे जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय गौरानिताय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल जय 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 प्रभुपाद 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 उग्रवीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं वयं सिंह उग्रवीरं ओके ओमज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त श्रीराधाकान्त नमोस्तुते सप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी श्रीराधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे So technique of hearing and remembering 10th chapter, we have 12 verses in this hearing. So 1.2.170 अथ श्रवणं नाम चरितः गुणादिं श्रुतिर्भवेत्. Next is hearing, that is 87th verse. Hearing means listening to the name, pastimes and quality of the Lord. There is the glories about the name, about the pastimes and about the qualities of Lord. Okay, one of you read. The first paragraph is 170th verse. Read. Okay, you want to read? Read. Kanchan Mataji.
Mataji, I am just on mobile right now.
Okay, Kanchan.
Somebody else can read. I'll just join in.
Just a minute, Mataji. Just a minute. Yes, Mataji.
Read.
Hearing. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam. Hearing. The beginning of Krishna consciousness and devotional service is hearing. In Sanskrit, called Shravanam. All people should be given the chance to come and join devotional parties so that they may hear. This hearing is very important for progressing in Krishna consciousness. When one links his ears to give oral reception to the transcendental vibrations, he can quickly become purified and cleansed in the heart. Lord Chaitanya has affirmed that this hearing is very important. It cleanses the heart of the contaminated soul so that he becomes quickly qualified to enter into devotional service and understand Krishna consciousness.
So the whole Krishna consciousness starts with Shravanam only. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasedam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasi, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedam. To reach that stage, it starts with Shravanam only. And even if I reach that stage, if anybody reads that stage, again he has to hear only. Hearing should be always continued. That is sadhya also, that is sadhana also. So sadhya, sadhana. Sadhya is the goal and sadhana is the means. So that is the means, that is the goal also. Hearing. Okay, now 171. What does Garuda Puran say about this? Let us see. Tatra nama shravanam yatha garude. Now nama, lila and guna. These three has been spoken. Now Garuda Puran speaks about nama. Tatra nama shravanam samsara sarpa dastah nashtah cheshtayika भेषजं कृष्णेति वैष्णवं मन्त्रं श्रुत्वा मुक्तो भवेन्नरः. So hearing the Vaishnava mantra Krishna, which is the only effective medicine to counteract the bite of the snake of samsara, a man becomes liberated. This is the only effective medicine to counteract the bite of the snake of samsara. So samsara is compared to a snake, and a person who is engaged in this samsara, he has to come out. So what is the means? It's only nama sankirtanam. Read further, Kanchan.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Mataji. In the Garud Puran, the stress on hearing is expressed very nicely. It is said there, the state of conditional life in the material world is just like that of a man lying unconsciousness, having been bitten by a snake. This is because both such unconscious states can be ended by the sound of a mantra. When a man is snake bitten, he does not die immediately, but first becomes unconscious and remains in a comatose condition. Anyone who is in the material world is also sleeping, and he is ignorant of his actual self of or his actual duty and his relationship with God. So, materialistic life means that one is bitten by the snake of Maya, illusion, and thus, without any Krishna consciousness, is almost dead. Now, the so-called dead man bitten by a snake can be brought back to life by the chanting of some mantra. There are expert chanters of these mantras who can perform this feat. Similarly, one can be brought back into Krishna consciousness from the deadly unconscious state of material life by hearing of the Mahamantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Now, Nama Shravanam over. Now, Charitra Shravanam, hearing about the pastimes of Lord. So from here, Jumur will read. Tasmin Mahan Mukharita Madhubicharitra Piyusha Shesha Sharita Parita Shravanti Taye Vivanti Avitrisho Nrupagada Karnais Tanna Sprishanti Ashanna Trad Bhaya Shoka Moha. So it is given here. In the assembly, this is from 4th canto. In the assembly, excellent streams of nectar of the pastimes of the Lord, emanating from the mouths of the saintly devotees, flow everywhere. Those who drink that nectar with eager ears, with constant thirst, O king, will forget the necessities of life, namely hunger and thirst, and become immune to all kinds of fear, lamentation, and ignorance. 4.29.40. Yasyam vai shuyamānāyam Krishna Paramapurushe. So it is said, whoever hears about Krishna, Shoka, Moha, Bhayapaha, everything, all the Shoka, Moha, and Bhaya will automatically go away. So here, the river, that is Sarita, is the river. And what is that river? The river is the pastimes of Krishna consciousness, Krishna. Now, when these words, Mukharitaha, and it is emanating from devotees' mouth. Now, very clearly it is said, Krishna's pastime, if it is heard from Mayavadis, it is like the milk which touches the snake, the milk which is touched by the snake. Mayavadi bhashya sunile sarva hoye nash. So it is not Krishna's pastimes only. From whom you are hearing these pastimes. It should be from the mouth of the devotees, not from the mouth of the non-devotees or atheists or Mayavadis. So it is said, बंद कर दीजिए ना, बंद करिए. So when it is constantly coming from the devotee's mouth, in the assembly of the devotees. Now devotees' mouth bare, but in the assembly of devotees. That means Pushyanti cha Ramanti cha should happen. One is hearing, he is also satisfied, the other is also satisfied. Flows everywhere. Mukharitaha means transformed into sound or words. The sentence suggests that the pastimes have spontaneously turned themselves into words and their proper meanings, since they flow from the rivers. Now, because it is coming from the devotee's mouth and it is in the assembly of the devotees, the pastimes take the form of words. And in this way, these pastimes takes the form of words and give the proper meaning to the pastimes. Jiva Goswami's commentary this is, and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, this river, Saritaha, is a pastime of Krishna. It is a river, and is loudly spoken by the devotee in the assembly of devotees. Again, Tasmin means the assembly of devotees. Devotees cannot speak this in the assembly of non-devotees, because there will be always a doubt in the mind. That is why pastimes are not discussed in the assembly of non-devotees. Krishna's teachings that can be given, Bhagavad Gita can be given, but Bhagavatam is not given to the new people. Bhagavatam cannot be understood. They cannot be relished. Bhagavatam is Rasamalayam. Muhuraho Rasika Bhui Bhavukaha. Only Rasikas can relish Srimad Bhagavatam. That is, Srimad Bhagavatam is not the subject matter of Shankara's philosophy. That is, I think, actually Sharirika Bhashya. It is given a Sharirika Bhashya. Shankaracharya has not given the commentary for Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is not the subject matter of Shankarites. That Bhagavad Gita, till Bhagavad Gita, they can restrict themselves. In Bhagavad Gita also, they are giving all impersonal meanings. That is why they cannot go till the pastimes of Krishna. So when any Pandal program, new people, we should always discuss Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavatam is only among the devotees. And even if at all Bhagavad Katha is kept, then Bhagavad Katha should be brought to the level of the teachings of Krishna. We cannot enter, there are certain Guhya pastimes, especially 10th canto Bhagavatam, where Ras is been explained, that all cannot be described to the new people. It is very difficult. That is why it is a river which flows in the assembly of the devotees. At the time, what happens? Shoka, Moha, Bhaya, hunger, thirst, everything vanishes. They don't touch, because they are releasing the pastime to such an extent. It is spoken by a pure devotee, heard by the devotees, and in this way they are just flowing, and the experience of the satisfaction is there. Okay, read further.
In the fourth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 29th chapter, verse 40, the importance of hearing of the pastimes of the Lord is stated by Sukadev Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit. My dear king, one should stay at a place where the great acharyas, holy teachers, speak about the transcendental activities of the Lord, and one should give oral reception to the nectarian river flowing from the moon-like faces of such great personalities. If someone eagerly continues to hear such transcendental sounds, then certainly he will become freed from all material hunger, thirst, fear, and lamentation, as well as all illusions of material existence.
Go on further. Another two paragraphs.
Okay. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also recommended this process of hearing as a means of self-realization in the present age of Kali. In this age, it is very difficult to follow thoroughly the regulative principles and studies of the Vedas which were formerly recommended. However, if one gives oral reception to the sound vibrated by great devotees and acharyas, that alone will give him relief from all material contamination. Therefore, it is the recommendation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that one should simply hear from authorities who are actually devotees of the Lord. Hearing from professional men will not help. If we hear from those who are actually self realized, then the nectarian rivers, like those which are flowing on the moon planet, will flow into our ears. This is the metaphor used in the above verse. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, a materialistic person can give up his material hankerings only by becoming situated in Krishna consciousness. Unless one finds a superior engagement, he will not be able to give up his inferior engagement. In the material world, everyone is engaged in the illusory activities of the inferior energy. But when one is given the opportunity of to relish the activities of the superior energy performed by Krishna, then he forgets all his lesser pleasures. When Krishna speaks on the battlefield of Kurukshetra to the materialistic person, it appears that this is simply talk between two friends. But actually, it is a river of nectar flowing down from the mouth of Sri Krishna. Arjuna gave oral reception to such vibrations, and thus he became freed from all the illusions of material problems. In the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, third chapter, verse 15.
Wait.
Huh,
Now that is 173. 173.
in the
Wait.
very okay.
173. Yeah. Guna Shravanam. Till now, what was the Shravanam we have done? Nama Shravanam, Leela Shravanam. Now Guna Shravanam. Guna Shravanam yatha dvadashe yattu tamashloka gunanubadaha Shri Shri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhulahari. Wait. Guna Shravanam. The full shloka is not there, Prabhuji. Yattu Sangiyate it comes.
Is there, Mataji?
sorry.
Actually,
I read
this
that.
this
Yes,
Shri
yes.
Shri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is on every page.
I thought, what is this? Beach mein how it came. Sangiyate bhikshanam amangala grana tameva nityam shunayada bhikshanam Krishne mala bhaktim abhipsamanah. So, hearing the pastimes of the Lord from 12th canto, the person who desires pure devotion service to Krishna should hear the narrations of the Lord, Uttama Shlokas, glorious qualities, the constant chanting of which destroys everything inauspicious. The devotee should engage in such listening in regular daily assembly and should continue his hearing throughout the day. So this is very important. Every day one should keep a practice of hearing the pastimes of Krishna, his glories, his qualities, his pastimes, his nama. Jiva Goswami's commentary. One should hear every day. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. It is not that Sunday to Sunday or once in a month. No, Nityam. Constantly. That is why our morning starts with 8:30 with Chaitanya Bhagavat. So we put introduced in our any group also, we are putting that. So you can join every day morning. Chaitanya Bhagavat is there. Constantly Abhiksharan. Descriptions of the qualities of the avatars of the Lord and his devotees, which are sung by the great devotees. This means that one should do that with great enthusiasm. Every day, the eagerness should be there. Tomorrow, what am I going to hear? What am I going to? Even though we have heard it 100 times also, again to hear. So, what happens? The result of such hearing is it creates pure bhakti to Krishna. And one who desires pure bhakti to Krishna should hear in this way. That means by hearing, one attains pure bhakti. And by pure bhakti, again he hears only. So here it is said, here Krishna means particularly the Lord in the form of a cowherd boy. Since the Bhagavatam denotes the form of the Lord as Bhagavan Swayam. So Swayam Bhagavan is Govinda, Krishna in the cowherd form. Then his incarnations, Swayam Prakash and all, everything will come. So then Vibhutis, all will come. Avataras will come. But main is hearing about Krishna. Always eagerness should be there to hear about Krishna. That enthusiasm also should be there. The more we hear the pastimes of Krishna, one develops bhakti. Bhakti utpaddate pumsam, shoka moha bhayapaha. Yasyam vai shruyamanayam Krishna parama purushe. Bhakti utpaddate pumsam, shoka moha bhayapaha. The very important shloka in Bhagavatam, it says, Yasyam vai shruyamanayam. The more we hear about Krishna. Krishna Parama Purusha, he is the Param Purusha. Then what happens? Bhakti utpadite, bhakti arouses. Bhakti is one's loving relationship with Krishna, which we have forgotten because of keeping so many relationships in this material world. Keeping the relationship with our own body and body-related people. So that is why Bhakti utpate punsam shoka moha bhayapaha. Shoka means the past. Moha means the present. Bhaya means the future. So whatever anxiety we take, thinking about our past, thinking about our present, thinking about our future, all these things will be completely gone. That is why shoka moha bhayapaha. And then there is no hunger and thirst. The Pratyaksha Praman is Parishit Maharaj saying, Vayam na vitrupyam uttama shloka vikrame shrunotam rasagyanam swadu swadu pade pade. Sukadeva Goswami is asking, are you thirsty? Are you hungry? He says, no. For 7 days. 7 days means 7 nights also. 7 days, 7 nights. Parishit Maharaj did not have anything. Then Sukadeva Goswami is saying, you want to have anything? He says, no, Vayam na trupyama. I don't want. Uttama shloka. I am hearing about the Uttama shloki. And what you are glorifying is Uttama shloka, because the words which glorify Krishna automatically becomes Uttama shloka. Or whatever words you use for Krishna, automatically that becomes Uttama shloka. The choicest words for Krishna, or whatever you words use, even if it is abhaddavati, even if it is not properly grammatically fitted, but still it becomes Uttama shloka. Okay, read. Jumo, continue.
In the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd chapter, verse 15, it is stated, a person who desires unalloyed devotional service to Lord Krishna, who is praised by transcendental sound vibrations, should always hear about his glorification and transcendental qualities. This will surely kill all kinds of inauspiciousness in the heart.
Next. Next comes now expecting the Lord's mercy. Now, Shavanam Kirtanam, all is there. But then expecting, some expectation is there. Oh Lord, please give mercy. In Ishopanishad, there's a verse, second last verse. It says, Om Kuto Smara Kutam Smara Kuto Smara Kutam Smara. Vayu Ralilam Amritamatedam Basmantam Shariram Om Kuto Smara Kutam Smara Kuto Smara Kutam Smara Kuto Smara Kutam. 3 times. Oh Lord, even if I die, leave the body, then the elements will go and enter that element. Vayu will enter Vayu, water will enter water, everything will. Cross elements enters cross elements. But you should know one thing. You should always remember whatever I have done. Kruto Smara, Kruto Smara. Don't forget whatever I have done. So that in the next life, you will engage me in your service. So expecting the mercy means expecting the mercy of getting again engaged in devotional service. For that, Krishna's mercy is important. Expecting the mercy every day, oh Krishna, tomorrow I should sit and chant nicely. Today, somehow while chanting, my mind went here and there. So I'm expecting the mercy that you should engage me in chanting your name very sincerely and seriously. Like this, we can expect the mercy. So 174th verse. Beautiful shloka, which is from Brahma's prayers. This shloka is, we have to do kanthastha of this shloka. Very important shloka. Tate nukampartam susamikshamano bhunjanevatma krutam vipakam hridva vapurbhir vidadhan namaste jive tayo mukti padai sadai bhag. You cannot demand mercy. You can expect mercy. You can plead for mercy. You can wait for mercy. Tattenu kampartam susamikshamano. Oh Lord, I am just waiting for your mercy. Bhunjana evatma krutam vipakam. While waiting for mercy, I am doing my whatever prescribed duties. Hridvag vapurbhir vidadan namaste. Hridvag vapu. With one's consciousness. Hrid means mind, intelligence, consciousness. Hridvag. Vag means your vak shakti. Vapu means the body. Hridvag vapurvir vidadhan namaste, I pay obeisances unto you. Jivetayo mukti padai sadaiva. Jivetayo mukti. So get liberated from this materialistic life and to serve you, it requires your mercy. But padai sadaiva. He becomes eligible to attain the mercy. Why? Because he's not demanding. He is just waiting for the mercy. Daibhak means he is eligible because Hrid Vak Vapu is engaging in devotional service without any expectation. And what is that expectation? He is just waiting. He is not demanding, he is waiting for the mercy of Krishna. So he is continuously serving Krishna. That is why Daibhak means he is the most eligible candidate. Rightful heir. Like you wait for getting the property of your parents, isn't it? You don't hasten, oh, right, father, right with the will. No, you have to wait. You wait, you get the property. So rightful heir of the Lord is the one who patiently waits, doing his prescribed duties, and also experiencing the karmas, whatever he has done, reactions will come. Disease is nothing but a form of karmic reactions. So let it come. Whatever diseases come, let it come. And then, but we have to continue our service. That is most important. Okay. Neeraj Prabhu, read.
From remembrance. No. One sec. The statement of expecting the Lord's mercy.
Yeah.
In the 10th canto, 14th chapter, verse 8, it is said, my dear Lord, any person who is constantly awaiting your causeless mercy to be bestowed upon him and who goes on suffering the resultant actions of his past misdeeds, offering you respectful obeisances from the core of his heart, is surely eligible to become liberated. for it has become his rightful claim. This statement of Srimad Bhagavatam should be the guide of all devotees. A devotee should not expect immediate relief from the reactions of his past misdeeds. No conditioned soul is free from such reactionary experiences. But because material existence means continued suffering or enjoying of past activities. If one has finished his material activities, then there is no more birth. This is possible only when one begins Krishna conscious activities, because such activities do not produce reaction. Therefore, as soon as one becomes perfect in Krishna conscious activities, he is not going to take birth again in this material world. A devotee who is not perfectly freed from the resultant actions should therefore continue to act in Krishna consciousness seriously, even though there may be so many impediments. When such impediments arise, he should simply think of Krishna and expect his mercy. That is the only solace. If the devotee passes his days in that spirit, it is certain that he is going to be promoted to the abode of the Lord. By such activities, he earns his claim to enter into the kingdom of God. The exact word used in this verse is Dayabhak.
Gaibhak.
Daibhak refers to a son's becoming the lawful inheritor of the property of the father. In a similar way, a pure devotee who is prepared to undergo all kinds of tribulations in executing Krishna conscious duties becomes lawfully qualified to enter into the transcendental abode. Hare Krishna.
Yes. So whatever reactions are there, just experience. Simple. Whatever past karmas, don't ask Krishna to mitigate. He will do whatever he wants. We don't have to ask, oh Lord, mitigate our sufferings. Krishna knows. Sufferings are nothing but it is good. It is cutting one's karma. It is just cutting one's karma. So in Krishna consciousness, even if a person is experiencing sufferings, he has to undergo and just wait for the mercy of Krishna. And that mercy of Krishna is again getting engaged in devotional service. That is only mercy. So that is why only one thing we should ask, oh Lord, let me not be removed from your service. My consciousness in serving you should not get weakened. It should, in fact, it should increase day by day, day by day. That should be the prayers one should do. Now, remembrance. Smriti 175, 176 speaks about remembrance. Atha smriti yatha katham chinmanasa sambandha smriti uchyate. Some or the other yatha katham manasaha sambandha smriti uchyate. Some or the other connecting the mind to the Lord is called remembrance. So what is the meaning of remembrance? Whatever we have heard, we should try to recollect. Like yesterday, Kanchan Mataji was asking me how to remember the verses. How to remember? Again, we have to read. The more we read, we just have to stick on one verse, read again, and try to remember again. Like we remember, somebody says something to us, we never forget that. Especially somebody insults. That insult we can remember even after 10 years, 20 years. Why not we remember something which we have insulted others that we forget immediately? Leave aside all these things, this is all moral values only. Why don't we remember the verses? We have so many verses to remember. So how to do that? Just write down, read, 10 times read, close your eyes, again read, automatically it will come. So remember, so the whole day goes in remembering Krishna's pastimes. And then 175 and 176 also in that. 175 is over. 176 and 177. 3 also will come in this paragraph. Next, 176.
Yes, Mataji. Remembrance.
यथा विष्णु पुराणे स्मृते सकल कल्याण भाजनम यत्र जायते पुरुषं तम् अजं नित्यं व्रजामि शरणं हरिम्. So it said, I surrender to the unborn eternal person Hari, by remembrance of whom one takes possession of all auspiciousness. Just by remembering, one has auspiciousness. So possession of auspiciousness. That means now he has a wonderful property. What is that? Krishna's mercy, just by hearing about him. So Shravanam has been given. The more we hear, more we remember. One is hearing, okay, and one is remembering. The more we remember, we possess. What we are possessing? All the auspiciousness. And 177th verse is, प्रयाणे च पर्याणे च अन्याम स्मरतां नृणाम् सत्यो नश्यति पापगौ नमस्तस्मै चिदात्मने. So remembrance is also illustrated in Padma Puran. I offer my respects to the omniscient Lord. Remembrance of his name while living or dead immediately destroys heaps of sins committed by men. Prayane, prayane, aprayane. Prayane means at the time of dying. Aprayane, while living. In the Gita, it is also stated, prayane kale manasa chalena. At the time of leaving the body, one should remember Krishna. One who is remembering Krishna throughout his life need not remember Krishna at the time of giving up the body. In the 6 Mahavakyas given by Lord Varadaraj to Irukachi Nambi for the answers to be given to Ramanuja, 6 Mahavakyas are given. In that, very clearly he says, at the time of death, a devotee need not remember Krishna. That means he has not forgotten. Devotee throughout his life is remembering. So where is the question of forgetting him? So that is why he need not remember. Like what is another meaning? He need not remember. That means he has not forgotten. I remember him. In Varaha Puran, Krishna says, in Varaha Puran, Lord Varaha says, Yadi vatadi doshena mad bhakto mam nachasmaret. Aham smarami mad bhaktaha nayami paramam gati. Because of some reason, my devotees are not able to remember me. I make it sure that I remember him. I take him back home, back to God. They are the powerful verses actually. So, Krishna tvadiya pada pankaja panjarantam adyaiva me vishaduna manasa rajahamsaha prana prayane samaya kafavata pittahi kanthavaro dhanavadu smaranam kutaste. Kurashekar Alvar also says in Mukundamala that when your mind is healthy, Krishna tvadiya pada pankaja panjarantam is like the network of the lotus. The swan tries to enter. So the swan, like our mind, should enter Krishna consciousness when it is healthy. Don't wait till the last. Prana prayana samaye kapavata vittai. Prana prayana samay. While the prayana samay means while leaving the body. At that time, kapha, vata, pitta is so much. Kanthavaro dhanavadu smaranam kutaste. How am I going to remember Krishna at the time of giving up the body? So better is aprayane. While leaving itself, better chant Krishna's name. Remember him. Every activity should make you remember Krishna. Because smartavya satatam Vishnu vismartavya najatuchit. Never forget Krishna. These two are the summon bonum of whole Vedic literatures. Always remember Krishna. Smartavya satatam Vishnu vismartavya jatuchit. Okay. Read the first one. Read it. 175, 176, 177.
Yes, Mataji. Remembrance. Some way or the other, if someone establishes in his mind his continuous relationship with Krishna, this relationship is called remembrance. About this remembrance, there is a nice statement in the Vishnu Purana, where it is said, simply by remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all living entities become eligible for all kinds of auspiciousness. Therefore, let me always remember the Lord who is unborn and eternal. In the Padma Purana, the same remembrance is explained as follows. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord Krishna, because if someone remembers him, either at the time of death or during his span of life, he becomes freed from all sinful reactions. Meditation. To meditate.
Atha dhyanam. Now 177 is the first paragraph. 178. First paragraph. Second is 179. Third is 180. Fourth is 181. And from fifth till the last is 182. 178 verse. Atha dhyanam. Dhyanam rupa guna krida. Sevade shushtu chintanam. Meditation. So what is meditation? First is remembrance. Meditation is absorption. You are completely absorbed in whatever you have thought of. First is remembering. Recollecting what you have heard, or recollecting what you have seen, recollecting what you have studied, and then completely get into it, absorbed. That is meditation, absorption. Skillful contemplation. Now it is skillful remembrance, skillful contemplation. So dhyanam, meditation means to contemplate with absorption on the Lord's form, qualities, pastimes, and service. So first was hearing, then was expecting the mercy, then was remembering, now is dhyanam. Dhyanam means complete absorption. Gadi Prabhu, read.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Meditation. To meditate means to engage the mind in thinking of the form of the Lord, the qualities of the Lord, the activities of the Lord, and the service of the Lord. Meditation does not mean anything impersonal or wild. According to Vedic literature, meditation is always on the form of Vishnu.
Okay, now 179. Tatra Rupa Dhyanam Yatha Narsimhe Bhagavad Charana Dvandva Dhyanam Nirdvandvam Tritam Papinopi Prasangena Vitam Suhitam Param. So Narsimha Puran speaks about meditation on the form. First was what? Meditation. Just what is meditation? Now, in meditation, what all comes? Rupa Guna Krida. Rupa Guna Leela. So now Rupa Dhyanam. Bhagavad Charana Dvandvo, 2 feet. Meditation on the 2 feet of the Lord is considered, what it is considered? Nirdvandvam Tritam. Nirdvantam Iritam. Nirdvandvam means completely become free from the dualities of the world. Papinopi prasangena. Even a sinner who casually meditates attains the highest benefit. One should contemplate on what he has heard, completely get absorbed in what he is remembering, what he has heard. And in this way, this meditation will make him free from all the sins. Nirdvandva, surpass the sorrow consisting of dualities, such as cold, heat, man, apman, it has been given. Okay, continue.
Yeah. In the Narasimha Purana, there is a statement about meditation on the form of Lord. It is said there, meditation focusing on the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead has been accepted as transcendental and beyond the experience of material pain and pleasure. By such meditation, even one who is grossly miscreant can be delivered from the sinful reactions of his life.
Okay. Now Rupa Dhyanam, now Guna Dhyanam. Guna Dhyana Yatha Vishnu Dharme Ye Kurvanti Sada Bhaktya Gunanusmaranam Hare Prakshinaha Kalu Sanghasti Pravishanti Hare Padam. A meditation on the qualities of the Lord, which has been spoken in Vishnu Dharma. Those who constantly meditate on the qualities of the Lord with devotion have destroyed all contamination. They enter the abode of the Lord. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came to Sri Rangam, at that time he saw a Brahmana, a poor Brahmana. He was holding Bhagavad Gita upside down and he was crying. All the people there assembled, they were all laughing. Oh, Mahaprabhu asked, are you crying because they are laughing at you? Said, no. I am crying just to understand how wonderful is Krishna. Even though the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he's Achyuta. He never falls down from his position, even though after becoming a charioteer, he accepts the role of a charioteer. So how wonderful is Krishna? See, he's an illiterate Brahmana. He doesn't know to read. But still he has understood this quality, that Krishna can assume any role, but at the same time, he's Achyuta. Never falls down from his position. So if a person understands the quality of Krishna, that how merciful he is, how wonderful he is, then he is not stuck in this material life. He enters the abode of the Lord. Okay, read further. Gunathyanam. Unmute yourself. I muted you.
Yes, Mataji. Sorry. In the Vishnu Dharma, there is a statement about meditation on the transcendental qualities of the Lord. It is said, persons who are constantly engaged in Krishna consciousness and who remember the transcendental qualities of the Lord become free from all reactions to sinful activities. And after being so cleansed, they become fit to enter into the kingdom of the God. In other words, no one can enter into the kingdom of God without being freed from all sinful reactions. One can avoid sinful reactions simply by remembering the Lord's form, qualities, pastimes, etc.
Now Leela Dhyanam. Krida Dhyanam Yatha Padme Sarvamadhuriya Sarani Sarvadbhuta Mayani Cha Dhyanam Hares Charitrani Lalitani Vimuchyate Sarvamadhuriya Sarani. In this way, always meditate on the sweet Sarvadbhuta Mayani. So on the sweet, astonishing pastimes of Krishna, Dhyanam Haris Charitrani. So always one has to meditate on the wonderful pastimes of Krishna. Then Lalitani Vimuchyate. He will attain Vishesha Rupena Muchyataha. He will attain liberation. So what is it Vishesha? Which Vishesha liberation? Understanding one's Swarupa Siddhi. Understanding one's relationship with Krishna. That is actually Muchyate. Okay, read.
In the Padma Purana, there is a statement about remembering the activities of the Lord. A person who is always engaged in meditation on the sweet pastimes and wonderful activities of the Lord surely becomes freed from all material contamination.
Now, Seva Dhyanam Yatha Puranantare Manasenopacharena Paricharya Harim Sada Parivan Manasa Gamyam Tam Sakshat Pratipedire. Meditation on one's service from another Purana, it has been said. Constantly serving the Lord with items produced on the mind. Some devotees have directly attained the Lord, which is not approachable for others by words or mind. Just by constantly serving the Lord. It is said some devotees have directly attained Lord's planet. It's not so easy by just by use of words or mind. Vaishnav Gaur Prabhu, you read 2 paragraphs from here all till last. It's just a one paragraph you read. Next paragraph Daya Sagar Prabhu will read. Last 2 Narayana will read.
In some of the Puranas, the evidence is given that if someone is simply meditating on devotional activities, he has achieved the desired result and has seen face to face the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this connection, there is a story in the Brahma Vaivarta Purana that in the city of Pratisthanpura in South India, there was once a Brahmana who was not very well to do, but who was nevertheless satisfied in himself, thinking that it was because of his past misdeeds and by the desire of Krishna that he did not get sufficient money and opulence. So he was not at all sorry for his poor material position, and he used to live very peacefully. He was very open-hearted, and sometimes he went to hear some lecture delivered by great realized souls. At one such meeting, while he was very faithfully hearing about Vaishnava activities, he was informed that these activities can be performed even by meditation. In other words, if a person is unable to actually perform Vaishnava activities physically, he can meditate upon the Vaishnava activities and thereby acquire all of the same result. Because the Brahmana was not very well to do financially, he decided that he would simply meditate on grand royal devotional activities, and he began this business thus. Hare Krishna.
So we know that how Devaki and Vasudev, they also meditated on giving charity. When Krishna is born, at that time they wanted to give charity. So what they did in the meditation itself, they gave charity. Thousands of cows in charity, so much of gold in charity. So the happiness is expressed by giving to the Brahmanas, cows and all. That they did in meditation itself. So if a person doesn't have that opulence, he can meditate and give to Krishna. Next paragraph. Daya Sagar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Yeah.
Sometimes he would take his bath in the river Godavari. After taking his bath, he would sit in the secluded place on the bank of the river, and by practicing the yoga exercises of pranayama, the usual breathing exercises, he would concentrate his mind. These breathing exercises are meant to mechanically fix the mind upon a particular subject. That is the result of breathing exercises and also of the different sitting postures of yoga. Formerly, even quite ordinary persons used to know how to fix the mind upon the remembrance of the Lord, and so the Brahmana was doing this. When he had fixed the form of the Lord in his mind, he began to imagine in his meditation that he was dressing the Lord very nicely in costly clothing, with ornaments, helms, and other paraphernalia. Then he offered his respectful obeisances by bowing down before the Lord. After finishing the dressing, he began to imagine that he was cleaning the temple very nicely. After cleaning the temple, he imagined that he had many water jugs made of gold and silver, and he took all those jugs to the river and filled them with the holy water. Not only did he collect water from the Godavari, but he collected from the Ganges, Yamuna, Narmada, and Kaveri. Generally, a Vaishnava, while worshipping the Lord, collects water from all these rivers by mantra chanting. This Brahmana, instead of chanting some mantra, imagined that he was physically securing water from all these rivers in golden and silver water pots. Then he collected all kinds of paraphernalia for worship, flowers, fruits, incense, and sandalwood pulp. He collected everything to place before the deity. All these waters, flowers, and scented articles were then very nicely offered to the deities to their satisfaction. Then he offered arati, and with the regulative principles, he finished all these activities in the correct worshipping method.
Okay. So mentally he's doing all these things. He's taking bath, he's going to the river, collecting the water, performing the worship. Then what happens? Let us. Narayana read.
Yes, Mataji. He would daily execute similar performances as his routine work, and he continued to do so for many years. Then one day, the Brahmana imagined in his meditations that he had prepared some sweet rice with milk and sugar and offered the preparation to the deity. However, he was not very satisfied with the offering because the sweet rice had been prepared recently and it was still very hot. This preparation, sweet rice, should not be taken hot. The cooler the sweet rice, the better its taste. So, because the sweet rice had been prepared by the Brahmana very recently, he wanted to touch it so that he could know whether it was fit for eating by the Lord. As soon as he touched the sweet rice pot with his finger, he immediately was burnt by the heat of the pot. In this way, his meditation broke. Now, when he looked at his finger, he saw that it was burnt and he was wondering in astonishment, how could this have happened? Because he was simply meditating on touching the hot sweet rice, he never thought that his finger would actually become burnt. While he was thinking like this, in Vaikuntha, Lord Narayana, seated with the goddess of fortune Lakshmi, began to smile humorously. On seeing this smiling of the Lord, all the goddesses of fortune attending the Lord became very curious and asked Lord Narayana why he was smiling. The Lord, however, did not reply to their inquisitiveness, but instead immediately sent for the Brahmana. An airplane sent from Vaikuntha immediately brought the Brahmana into Lord Narayana's presence. When the Brahmana was thus present before the Lord and the goddesses of fortune, the Lord explained the whole story. The Brahmana was then fortunate enough to get an eternal place in Vaikuntha, in the association of the Lord and his Lakshmis. This shows how the Lord is all pervading, in spite of his being locally situated in his abode. Although the Lord was present in Vaikuntha, he was present also in the heart of the Brahmana when he was meditating on the worshipping process. Thus, we can understand that things offered by devotees, even in meditation, are accepted by the Lord and they help one achieve the desired result.
Yes. Even even in meditation, things offered to the Lord, Krishna accepts. But that doesn't mean that you offer in meditation only, you have to offer. And suppose you are not able to offer one day, you can offer him in meditation. Okay, we'll stop here. Any questions you can ask. Small lesson. So 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 11th, 12th, 13th chapter. Then it will be alternate days for you, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, because I have to take Bhakti Vaibhav on Tuesday and Thursday. So,
I have a question. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam. Mataji, while we are traveling, can we offer mentally bhogas, artis, or not?
what you're going to eat? Yeah, that you can. But what you're going to eat? Whatever you have offered, you should bring, and you should take that. Not that you're buying something outside food. You should carry whatever you have offered to Lord. And then Aarti, you can sing, offer, Tulasi Aarti. We do that. In Yatras, we do that.
Mataji. But Mataji, if we have not so much ingredients and we offer deities 2 times in a day or 3 times, and we are traveling that time, then how can we offer?
Mentally, na? When we don't have anything with us, what will we have to offer mentally only?
Okay, Mataji. Okay, thank you, Mataji.
Hari. Any other doubt? So Nainu is ready. Teasing me. Just see.
Achman Mantra. Hare Krishna, Achman Mantra. Gange cha Yamune chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Jalesmin Sannidhim Kuru.
Haripol. What is Sudha's baby going to say today? How old is she? What is her name? Sudha?
Krishnika Mataji, Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat. She is 6 years old.
Huh?
6-year-old Mataji.
6 years.
Yeah. Her name is Krishnika.
Her name is?
Krishnika.
Vishnuka.
No, Mataji. Krishnika. Krishnika.
Krishnika. Okay. Chant. 2 years older than Nainu. Okay, very good. Chant, chant. Sit. Peacefully sit and chant.
Sarvadham.
Sarvadharman parityaja mame saram bhaja aham tvam sarvapeta mokshishami vasuja.
Very good. One verse. Every day, one verse. One verse Nainu, one verse Krishnika. Okay. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhuvayacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo.
Jai. Nainu, you tell now. You tell. Vancha kalpa.
Kripa Sindhubhyev cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah.
Mataji, you have told Vancha Kalptaru, then he started from further.
Hari bol. Acha, your boy, I thought girl. Krishnika. His boy, huh?
No, girl Mataji. Krishnika.
The way you said he. She told he, na? I thought always. Anyhow, Hari bol. Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki